Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a dream that's probably crossed your mind more than once. Traveling the world indefinitely without running out of money.
Hmm.
It sounds like the ultimate freedom, right? Exploring ancient cities, hiking breathtaking trails, sipping coffee in charming cafes, all while your bank account just sort of works itself out.
Yeah, the dream image.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving deep into how people actually structure their lives and income to achieve this, moving beyond those perfectly filtered, often pretty misleading images you see all over social media.
It's such a powerful aspiration. And look, it is absolutely possible to build this kind of lifestyle. But what's often overlooked, and what we found consistently across our sources, from seasoned digital nomads like Peter Orsel and Shivya Nath to newer voices like Melissa Byron and Jahi Casey, is that the reality is, well, it's far more intricate,
More demanding, maybe.
often much more demanding than the dream suggests. So this deep dive is really about the practical realities, the very real challenges, and importantly, the diverse income streams that actually underpin this kind of global mobility. We're aiming for a truly grounded perspective here.
Yeah, our mission today is pretty clear. We want to distill practical advice and maybe some surprising truths from these personal accounts and expert guides. We're going to show you not just if it's possible, but how it's done, and maybe most importantly, what it really takes to build it and, sustain it for the long haul.
Exactly.
Now, let's start with a crucial reality check. There's this persistent misconception out there that earning money while traveling is just one long, everlasting holiday.
Oh yeah, the laptop on the beach photo.
Right, that picture sums up the daily grind.
And that image, well, it couldn't be further from the truth, honestly. The harsh reality, as our sources consistently show, is that it often involves incredibly hard work, packed schedules, long days.
Packed schedules, even while traveling.
Absolutely. Peter Orsel, who's successfully living and working abroad, he openly states he works harder now than he ever did in his traditional corporate job. Content creators, digital nomads, travel entrepreneurs, they're frequently putting in significant hours, often managing time zones, client demands, all while, on the move. It's definitely not just lounging by the pool with a laptop.
And that idea of the slow burn really hits home, too. I mean, Melissa Byron, for example, she started her travel blog and Instagram back in 2019.
Right?
She candidly shares she spent about 4 years pouring time and money into both, with zero return. Zero.
4 years.
Yeah. It wasn't until 2022 that she started earning, and even then, a very small income from things like affiliate links and a few brand partnerships. So it really means you can't just quit your job on a whim, can you? How critical is having that financial runway?
Oh, it's absolutely critical. Melissa's journey is a stark reminder that this is an overnight success story for most people, not at all. And Shivya Nath, another experienced travel storyteller, she notes it took her nearly 2 years to get her first paid travel blogging assignment. 2 years.
That's commitment.
It is. And she strongly cautions against those, 5 tips to get paid overnight schemes because, as she puts it, quality and consistency can't be faked. Building a sustainable income takes time, dedication, real effort, build an audience, a valuable service, that initial financial buffer. It's often the difference between giving up too soon and actually pushing through to make it work.
Okay, so it's clear then. The romanticized image, it often hides a pretty significant grind. But importantly, this doesn't mean the dream is impossible.
Not at all.
It just means it demands a more strategic, patient approach. Which actually brings us perfectly to how these persistent travelers actually build their income streams.
Yeah.
Because they are diverse.
Precisely. And yeah, very diverse.
Yeah.
To simplify, we can broadly categorize these income sources into, let's say, 3 main pillars. First, you've got content creation and influence, which is about leveraging your voice and experiences.
Right. The stuff we often see.
Exactly. Second, there's service-based remote work, where you apply existing professional skills, just, remotely. And third, product-based and entrepreneurial ventures, so creating and selling your own offerings.
Okay, let's jump into content creation first. Affiliate marketing. We all kind of know the drill. Recommend products or services, earn a commission. But it sounds deceptively simple, doesn't it?
It really does. And here's the crucial caveat, the catch. It requires an audience that genuinely trusts you. That's what Melissa Byron really highlights. You can't just spam links and expect clicks.
Oh, doesn't work.
You need to be seen as the go-to person for a specific destination or product type, someone whose recommendations actually provide real value. Now, platforms like Travel Payouts or Stay22, they offer excellent affiliate programs with major travel brands, but your content, your advice, It needs to be useful and trustworthy first. The trust comes before the transaction.
Okay, but wait. Jacques Casey mentioned something interesting, affiliate marketing without a following. Now, that seems counterintuitive if trust is so key. How does that work?
Yeah, that's a fascinating and increasingly relevant niche. It involves leveraging the algorithms. Think platforms like TikTok Shop. You can link products in short, engaging videos and potentially earn anywhere from 5% to like 30% commission.
Wow.
Or you can use really strong SEO search engine optimization strategies for a blog to drive traffic directly from Google or other search engines. In these cases, the audience isn't necessarily following you personally.
Yeah.
They're finding your content because it ranks high for what they're searching for. Or maybe the platform's algorithm serves it up. That leads to clicks and purchases. So it's a different kind of trust.
Yeah.
Maybe trust the search results or the platform's recommendation rather than trust in a personal brand you've built over years.
Got it. Okay, so moving on. Brand partnerships. This is where it gets really interesting. It used to feel like brands only wanted creators with, massive followings, millions of followers. How has that landscape shifted? What are they looking for now?
The landscape has definitely matured. Brands are increasingly seeking creators with a clear, often quite niche audience. They're looking at strong engagement metrics, not just follower counts. And critically, authenticity.
Authenticity again.
Always. Melissa Byron shared her experience with her first luggage company partnership. She'd apparently been using their products for years, genuinely loved them. She was a true fan.
Okay.
That organic connection, that real enthusiasm, that's what the brand noticed and valued. It's less about a perfectly curated, flawless aesthetic these days, and more about connecting meaningfully with a specific target audience. It really means aligning with your genuine values, because audiences, well, they can absolutely sense inauthenticity. Plus, there are the practicalities, understanding contracts, deliverables, deadlines. That all becomes a significant part of the business side.
And Shivya Nath emphasizes choosing values over trends. How does that philosophy play out in practice, especially for brand deals in this, ever-evolving digital space?
Well, building values into your content, it strengthens your credibility. It makes your stories resonate long-term. Shivya's observed that brands are increasingly looking to align with creators who might not have millions of followers, but who demonstrate a really strong commitment, maybe to environmental or social impact, or who embody a particular travel philosophy like slow travel or responsible tourism.
Right. Something deeper.
Exactly. This approach makes your content more resilient, more impactful than just chasing the latest viral dance or challenge. It offers a deeper connection that actually both audiences and brands seem to be seeking more and more now.
Okay. Now, for those who love capturing their travels, the photos, the videos, but maybe aren't so keen on being the face of a brand or constantly posting online, how can that passion become an income stream?
Right, the photographers and videographers. Well, you can sell photos and videos to stock websites. Think Shutterstock, Getty Images, Adobe Stock. Peter Orsel, for example, he shares that he earns between $250 to $557 USD per month from about 5,000 photos he's uploaded.
Passive income.
Pretty much. And he specifically notes that drone footage is in particularly high demand right now. So it's a really compelling way to generate somewhat passive income once your content is uploaded and accepted. Your creative assets can earn for you while you focus on other things.
What about the classic travel blogger or travel vlogger path? Is it still viable in, say, 2025? It feels like the online space is just incredibly saturated with travel blogs and channels now.
It's absolutely still viable. Peter Orsel confirms this with his own blog income. But, and this is a big but, it's very much a long game.
The slow burn again.
Exactly. And the rules are definitely changing. Melissa Byron learned this the hard way, trying to rely solely on traditional ad revenue from her blog. She highlights how volatile that income source is now, especially with AI-driven search tools starting to impact organic traffic from Google.
Interesting point about AI.
Yeah, the shift away from just relying on broad ad revenue for blogs isn't just about AI, though. It's pushing creators toward more direct, maybe higher value offerings. The real insight here seems to be that future-proof blogs are becoming less about chasing millions of page views and more about building a highly engaged, perhaps smaller, niche community. A community that's willing to invest in premium digital products or specific services directly from the blogger they trust.
So monetization for blogs and YouTube channels, it's diversifying.
It has to. It increasingly comes from a mix.
Mhm.
Ads, sure, but also affiliate links, sponsored content, and importantly, selling your own digital products or offering unique services.
Okay. And what about simply being an influencer? On platforms like Instagram and TikTok, focusing purely on showcasing your travels, looking amazing in exotic locations.
Well, Jacqueline and Casey warns that making a consistent living solely from being an influencer is far harder than it looks. It often takes, in her words, years of constant posting just to figure out a sustainable strategy and actually monetize effectively. And Shivya Nath, who openly says she hates the term influencer, but acknowledges she earns from travel storytelling, emphasizes that it requires both a creative soul with a business head. Engagement, authenticity, those are still key. But for many, it often remains a side hustle or one part of a larger income puzzle until it scales significantly. It really needs a clear business model beyond just showing off your amazing adventures.
Okay, so we've really explored the world of content creation. Lots of options there, but also lots of caveats. But what if the thought of constantly being on camera or, crafting those perfectly engaging captions just isn't your primary calling? There's this equally robust world of service-based remote work that many successful digital nomads leverage, isn't there?
Absolutely. This is where the digital nomad lifestyle really shines for a different group of people. It's not just someone working remotely from home. It's strategically leveraging professional skills from, well, anywhere. And freelancing is often the top gig.
Like what kinds of freelancing?
All sorts. Jockey Casey, for instance, earns a six-figure income as a freelance video editor. That just shows the potential when you have a valuable, in-demand skill. Common freelance services include virtual assistant work, copywriting, graphic design, web development, digital marketing, and the list goes on. Average earnings typically range from maybe $15 to $50 an hour, sometimes much more depending on the skill and experience.
And where do people find these gigs?
Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr are often great starting points for finding initial clients. But the real long-term play is usually about building a strong portfolio, getting referrals, and establishing direct client relationships that allow you that freedom to work from anywhere.
What other remote skills are really in high demand that travelers can leverage? And how do people navigate the tricky parts, like getting international clients or dealing with work visas if needed?
Good question. Beyond the sort of standard freelance roles, consulting and coaching are thriving, average earning around $42 an hour. Many people leverage their previous corporate expertise to advise clients remotely. Teaching English online is another really popular one. You typically need a TFL certification, and that can pay anywhere from $10 to $40 an hour on platforms like VIP Kid.
Okay.
And for those seeking maybe more traditional employment stability, it's increasingly possible to secure a fully remote corporate job that is location independent. Jockey Casey mentions these can pay, $4,100 to $5,500 per month, maybe more, even while based in Europe. Though securing the right work visa, if you need one, often requires careful planning and maybe even legal consultation.
So it's not always straightforward legally?
Definitely not. Peter Orsel also adds finance, IT, and specialized digital marketing roles to the list of common digital nomad industries. The key takeaway here is not just having the skill, but also learning how to market it globally and really understanding the legalities of working in and potentially for clients in different countries.
What's fascinating here really is just the sheer variety of professional skills that can be leveraged. It's so much broader than just being on camera or writing about travel. It's about taking your existing expertise, whatever that might be, and taking it on the road.
Exactly. It significantly broadens the possibilities beyond what most people initially imagine when they hear get paid to travel.
Hmm.
It lets people maintain their careers, often high-level careers, while embracing a nomadic lifestyle.
Okay, so beyond providing services, what about creating and selling actual things? Entrepreneurial ventures on the go.
Yeah, this is a really rewarding path for many, leveraging your unique perspective, your expertise, to create and sell digital products. Things like detailed travel itineraries, ebooks, online courses, maybe even Lightroom presets or templates.
Right, digital products. Low overhead.
Exactly. Melissa Viren suggests platforms like Traffi or Rexby for building and selling itineraries, turning her travel planning know-how into a monetizable product. And Jockey Casey has seen people earn anything from, say, $5 for a useful Notion template to $500 or more for a comprehensive online course. The beauty of digital products is their scalability. You create it once, and you can sell it many times over.
What about some of the more complex, maybe larger scale entrepreneurial approaches, things like drop shipping or Airbnb arbitrage? How do those fit into a travel-centric lifestyle? Are people really doing that while moving around?
They are, but it takes serious management skills. Dropshipping, with its typical 15% to 20% profit margins, isn't just about setting up a quick online store. It's really about mastering supply chains, marketing, and finding truly unique products that resonate, often with a global mobile audience. It requires a keen eye for market trends and very efficient logistics management, which, yes, can be done remotely, but it's demanding.
And Airbnb arbitrage, that sounds risky.
It can be. That's where you rent properties long-term, maybe multiple properties, and then list them on Airbnb for short-term stays. Jockey Casey notes that some savvy individuals are actually earning six figures from just 3 to 5 properties using this model. But they're managing them remotely, usually through local teams for cleaning and check-ins. It's a business.
A simpler option.
A much simpler option, also highlighted by Jockey, is just renting out your own room or your entire apartment while you travel. She apparently managed to earn twice her rent doing this, which effectively helped fund her own travels. Much less complex.
Okay, makes sense. Now, for those who want travel to be their job more directly, not just the backdrop for their remote work or business, what are the options there?
Well, one direct option is hosting group trips. This can often cover your own travel costs and potentially offer at least a minimum wage, sometimes working for established tour companies. Melissa Byron, for example, uses her group trips not just as an income source, but also strategically to build trust with her community. And that often leads to future clients for her travel planning services.
Builds the relationship.
Exactly. Another route is finding paid volunteering opportunities. Platforms like Workaway sometimes list these. These roles might involve working at a hostel, farm, or community project, and often include accommodation and food, in addition to maybe minimum wages. It allows you to immerse yourself in local culture while significantly cutting down your living costs.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground on earning. Now, saving money is the other side of the coin. How can you strategically make your money go further and truly, as Jockey Casey puts it, travel more, work less while you're actually on the road?
Yeah, Jockey offers some excellent, really practical money-saving hacks. First, and this is non-negotiable for her, budgeting. She swears by apps like YNet, you need a budget to meticulously track every single penny. It gives you full visibility and control over where your money is going.
Crucial.
Absolutely. Then think about free accommodation. This is a big one. She saved a tremendous amount using home exchange, literally swapping houses with people in places like Paris and Seattle.
Wow, cool.
Or, if you don't own a place to swap, house sitting is huge. Through platforms like Trusted House Sitters, you can stay for free in amazing homes around the world, just in exchange for caring for pets or plants. It's a fantastic way to live like a local and save massively on accommodation costs.
What else?
Credit card points. Savvy travelers get really good at this. Utilizing sign-up bonuses for travel-specific credit cards can cover significant portions of flights and hotels. You often only end up paying for taxes and fees. It takes some management, but the payoff can be huge. Also, just making smart travel choices consistently makes a difference. Traveling during the shoulder or off-peak seasons, choosing local restaurants and street food over the obvious tourist traps, always opting for public transportation instead of taxis. These might seem like small things, but they compound into really significant savings over time.
Okay, budgeting, free stays, points, smart choices. Anything else essential?
Yes. One thing that's absolutely crucial, travel insurance. You cannot skip this. Jockey shares a personal story about needing an unexpected MRI while she was in Istanbul. Her travel insurance was, as she put it, a genuine lifesaver. It covered what could have been a very costly, very stressful medical emergency abroad. She recommends providers like Safety Wing or World Nomads for comprehensive coverage. Don't leave home without it.
Yeah, that's solid advice. Okay, so we've covered how to earn, how to save, but what's the one potential landmine, the thing most people completely overlook until maybe it's too late when they're pursuing this dream?
Well, that's an easy one. Taxes.
Ah, yes, the fun part.
Exactly. Peter Orsel really stresses the critical importance of understanding the tax rules and residency requirements for working abroad. Different countries have vastly different rules about how long you can stay before you're considered a tax resident, and that has huge implications for where you owe taxes, how much you owe, and how you file.
It can get complicated fast.
Very fast. And Melissa Byron also warns about needing specific licenses or permits if you're selling travel services, depending on where you're based and where your clients are. It's absolutely crucial. I can't stress this enough to consult with a legal or business professional, ideally one specializing in international or remote work, before you dive in. Get proper advice to ensure you're compliant and avoid really costly surprises down the road.
Okay, and what if you're listening to this and thinking, wow, this sounds great, but I'm not ready to just quit everything and go all in immediately, like Melissa Byron did, still working her full-time job while building things up. Is there a point where that slow burn shifts, or is it just always an uphill battle at the start?
It's not always an uphill battle, but Melissa's advice, and it's wise advice, is to definitely try and have another source of income to support yourself, especially in the early stages. Building a travel career, or any location-independent business really, is, as she perfectly puts it, a slow burn. Having that financial cushion or a concurrent income stream, it provides essential peace of mind and the sustainability to keep going when things are tough or slow.
And when does it shift?
The shift tends to happen when you've consistently put in the work, built that foundation of trust, maybe diversified your income stream so you're not reliant on just one thing, and developed a strong, engaged audience or a solid client base. That's when you start moving from constantly pushing outbound to attracting inbound opportunities. But yeah, it takes considerable upfront effort and patience to get there.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what does this really mean for you, our listener, who might be dreaming of this kind of life? It means that while the dream of getting paid to travel is absolutely achievable, it's far from a shortcut to an easy life, isn't it?
Definitely not.
It's not some fantasy where you just wander aimlessly and money magically appears in your account. My dreams of sipping a mojito while my affiliate links spontaneously generate enough income for a yacht are officially deferred, maybe just postponed.
Yeah, maybe postpone. But you're right. The core message from all our sources, everyone we looked at, is really clear. Success in this space requires consistency. It requires clarity about your purpose, your why. It demands building genuine trust with your audience or your client base,
Hard work.
a true desire to help others travel better or solve a problem for them remotely, and yes, most definitely, a willingness to put in incredibly hard work, especially in those early stages.
Yeah.
It's a path that's often full of trial and error, learning as you go. But for those who commit, stay adaptable, and focus on providing real value, it can be an incredibly meaningful and deeply rewarding way to live and earn.
So, if you're thinking about taking the leap, maybe consider this final thought. In a world absolutely overflowing with wannabe viral videos and fleeting online trends, what unique value do you specifically offer? And maybe more importantly, how will you strategically build that essential trust over the long term, long after the latest platform algorithm changes or the current trends have faded away?